Welcome back, everybody, to SimTrack's broadcast. This is Patrick coming to you live, and I'll tell you what, if it can go wrong, it will go wrong, and that is not just technical difficulties here with the broadcast. Stella, let me tell you what, here we are at Watkins Glen for the KSX Racing Graphix 104, where we are seeing a bunch of drivers having one heck of a time out here. Tire traction is going to be an absolute must-have here tonight. So throttle control will be on the top of their list. Points are coming down. The season is starting to come to an end here very, very, very quickly. And drivers are starting to get real nervous here, trying to figure out, really where they're going to place and are they going to be able to make it above that cutoff line.
Oh, I agree. And we've got some that are right on the edge, such as James Loveland and Jacob Sirkovich, which are running number 15 and 16. So the last thing they want to see is a new person winning other than themselves tonight.
Yeah, and that we'll take a look here at the point standings here in just a moment. We are seeing the last little bit of Travis Gilbert trying to lay down some times out there, but it doesn't look like he's fighting it too well out there. Definitely having a little bit of trouble. There he is, number 22, getting going here. Let me see if we can find our championship points out there. Come on, there we go. 16th on up has made the cutoff line. Jacob Sirkovich has made it. Michael Bennett, Trevor Keith, and you gotta admit, James Loveland has missed half this season here and is now above the cutoff line with that 434. So I believe he has 16 points above the line, and that puts Jeffrey Israel 16 points below the line. I know his Element X racing buddies would love to see him squeak in because that would make it a 4-for-4 heading into the playoffs. But a couple of drivers here in the playoffs that are not going to be attending here tonight. Stella, you want to talk about it at all?
The ones that won't be attending?
Yes.
Well, Mr. Nick Alves is on a one-race suspension for actions unbefitting an officer and a gentleman.
Oh, boy. That's not good. I know he's not going to be here tonight. I believe there are a couple of other drivers. Robert Rader will not be here tonight either.
But not for penalty purposes.
No, not for penalties either. Yeah, I believe it was him. It was Alves and Richardson, I believe, the ones that have been penalized. Race for tonight, we are looking at Rader, and I believe Devin Hudgens in the number 84. He will not be attending tonight either. And he's
in New Jersey.
Yeah, I believe he would have been doing quite well out here in the 84. Like to see a little bit of that VR race and see how well it does for him out here. We are still watching Travis Gilbert here in the background, trying to place down some solid times here. As you see him dropping off the table just a little bit. Now, I probably would admit that some of the drivers out here, we gotta wonder if any sort of incident limit will be in effect here. I would assume the answer is no, seeing that so many off tracks can occur here. You saw how we slid off the table there just a little bit, hooking to the outside. No can do it. That would automatically be a 1X, and if we hit that 17 mark, guys start getting penalized, and I don't think that's going to be a good thing. So let's take a look at what our race consists of here tonight at Watkins Glen. 45 laps. Stage break will be at 10. 5 sets of tires in pit, but if we remember anything from Jeremy Burns and Justice Murphy, tires are a joke here. They may or may not take tires. I knew I've raced here at the Glen a little bit, and you have got to take care of them. I was able not to pit, but my tires were just about smoked off by the end. There was absolutely nothing left of them here. And, of course, no fast repairs heading into this one. So that 96-degree track temperature should be looking pretty solid. 1 minute left here in qualifying. And we got drivers. Burns on top of the chart. Trevor Erhardt will be starting right next to him. Brandon Dunford, Grant Thorpe, and Tay McDonald. Not too bad from Tay hitting that 5th spot mark. 4 drivers have yet to qualify. James Loveland, Chris Schaefer, Zach Hanna, and Daniel Holloway. I do not see any solid times out of them. They may have spun out during qualifying, so they're going to have to go back to the drawing board and try it again. We'll see if we can kind of toy around with it here a little bit and see what kind of where they all end up here, Stella. And tell me a little bit about Watkins Glen for some of our viewers out here.
Well, Watkins Glen does have several different track layouts. They've, over the years, heck, they've had 5 different layouts, but they've settled on the current one in about 1971. Had a couple little tweaks made after 2 fatal crashes. But this is going to be a 2.45-mile course with 8 turns on an asphalt course. And if you guys do take pit, if you don't want to do a Chase Elliott and run out of gas, your pit speed is 40 miles per hour.
Ooh, 40. That
Yep.
could be pretty tight. So a lot of these drivers are going to have a lot to think about here. And like we're saying, the go bowling sign, some of these drivers might think it, might be a good idea to go bowling through into turn 1 or through the bus stop. As we can see already out there in the chat, Robert Rader is saying just don't blow through the bus stop. I would probably say there are so many treacherous turns on this track. Heading through the S turns is going to be very, very, very difficult heading through the S turns, heading in and out of the bus stop, going through the carousel and not spinning out, and then the turn exit heading to the front stretch here to where the start-finish line is. That's going to be huge for these guys to kind of tussle with and figure out what the best area is to be on the gas and be off the brake. How much brake bias these guys are fighting with, and we'll definitely have to see on that. All right. Starting here on the starting lineup here for tonight. Let's go ahead and get that grid up. Jeremy Burns and Trevor Erhardt will be starting 1 and 2. Brandon Dunford inside of row number 3, and Grant Thorpe will be starting in the 4th spot. Tay McDonald 5th with Travis Gilbert 6th. Starting row number 4 will be Justice Murphy. Floating back to Matthew Robinson, not too bad from Performance Motorsports, getting a top 10 start. Dylan Smoot will be starting 9th, and Parker Johnston will be 10th. So we've seen Johnston win a race back at Coda, I believe. It's back when Justice Murphy actually led 90% of that race. But Parker got him there with a good tire call. Moving on back, that's going to put us with Michael Bennett sitting 11th and Tyler Harrison back in the 12th spot. So rotating on back through here, Stella, we got a lot of drivers here. Alice Bourget very far back. I expect to see him a lot higher up in the field. John Fike will be starting 14th. That moves us to Kevin Orlando and Jacob Sirkovich for 15 and 16. Don't forget about Caleb Gilbert and Grant Turner. Now, interesting to see Caleb Gilbert actually leading the points race, starting 17th. So he'll be next to Grant Turner. Trevor Keith, he's locked in here, pretty close for the points. And let's see if we can stay above that playoff cutoff line. And Logan Romney will be starting in that 20th position. Albert Likens hasn't been here in a very, very long time. Glad to see that number 16 returning back to the track here tonight. He'll be next to James Loveland in the 22nd spot. Christopher Schaefer already back here in the 23rd. And Daniel Holloway will be our 24th starter here. He's going to be way back in the field. Just a couple of guys maybe actually a little farther back than him where Zach Hanna is. We'll see how a couple of those drivers fare here tonight in the midst of this race, because these guys have got a full field of drivers out here. You got to admit, Stella, when I come to a road course race, this is not normally what you expect to see.
What, a full field?
Absolutely. Normally you come to a road course race like this, and what you see a lot of is just a shortage of drivers.
Okay. I'm very confused at what I'm seeing.
Some of the guys just keeping it straight rather than going through the bus stop and kind of smacking into each other.
All right.
So the left side lane will go ahead and stay straight, but that's A-okay.
Okay. I have to admit I've never seen that before. I was kind of like, time out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad to know that they're not going to have incident points on that, because, I mean, for some of these guys, the strategy is actually running off the edge a little bit. I've seen the trucks at, what do they call Sears Point now?
Sonoma.
Sonoma, thank you. Basically just run over the humps. Heck with making a turn. We're just going to go over the humps and keep going. So, yeah, I guess that would rack up pretty quick and with all these turns.
Yeah, that it would. Alrighty. Porsche pace car will be heading on off the track here as the drivers get locked and loaded and ready to go for this one. Jeremy Burns going to take us to the start on this one here at the Glen. And I've got to admit, turn 1 is going to be where it makes or breaks us here. Here we come. Oh, man, where's Grant Thorpe in the Tennessee car? He's going to be way to the outside here. He's getting pushed out. Travis Gilbert shooting the line here and already squeezing it 3 wide into the S-turns. Grant Thorpe is in terrible position here as he is stuck on the outside. Normally we try to stay up with the leaders, but I have Grant Thorpe who was up there with the leaders, and they're getting hammered around here. Justice Murphy is wrecked. Oh, no, Justice Murphy didn't even make half a lap here and is obliterated out here on the track. Holy cow. Rotating on back through. They are continuing on. Originally, it shows Brandon Dunford had a problem out there as drivers are getting single file. Jeremy Burns leading this one away. Rotating back to Grant Thorpe. Little trouble back here for Alex Bourget. He is following along Michael Bennett. Bennett putting the hammer down for Performance Motorsports out there. Boy, looking good here. Not too bad. Parker trying to see if he can get Dylan Smoot behind him here. Oh, no, and Michael Bennett and Alex Bourget take each other out here. Bennett has got to maintain calm because he's going to be pretty mad about that. That was a nasty rub and bump there. And don't forget, everybody, we will roll back and see what exactly caused all this ruckus here on lap 1. I assure you of that.
And that is because, why is there no caution?
Road course. It has to block the track.
Okay, that one with Justice, I thought, 27 was sideways.
Yeah, I know, and I thought it'd stop the track, but fortunately,
Okay.
there's a stage caution at 10, so these guys will be able to bunch back up and try again. I don't know because I am showing Justice Murphy broken down, but you're getting ready to tell me that there is not a caution on lap 10. It will be a stage, and that will be it.
That is correct.
Yuck.
Sorry, but these guys run NASCAR rules and stats, and that is the way they ran Watkins Glen this last week. Much to the chagrin of 61% of the viewers, they didn't like it either.
No, I would like to see it clump back up. Definitely give these guys another shootout. All right, well, we're going to go back, and let's take a look at lap 1. Brandon Dunford had some problems back here. Says he crashed, but let's take a look back maybe at Justice Murphy. Let's see if we can find a better angle here.
Yep, there it's starting.
Yeah, kind of a terrible angle here.
Just kind of a blimp view.
Yeah, you got to get a little closer.
And then, oh! That was Fiken. It wasn't even his fault.
Yeah, but I think Kevin Orlando has spun out on his own here as well.
Well, yeah. Well, he plowed into the back of him.
Somebody's saying he may have had help. I think Justice Murphy may have just broken loose right here.
Well,
it snapped right there on the exit of the S-turn.
And then bloop. Yes.
Yep. All right, let's take a look because Kevin Orlando has to make a huge checkup here, and he comes in sideways after the whole deal. Oh, Orlando.
All black. Is that the Ray Lane? No, jeez. Sorry.
Wow.
If anything can go wrong, it will go wrong. You started it.
Yeah,
My apologies.
Wow. Yeah, it should be Tyler Harrison in the 45 Toyota.
Okay. I haven't not seen that car.
Yeah, let's keep rotating on through because even back here on lap 2, let's take a look as Tyler Harrison says he crashed again. I don't know if he came out of pit and something happened here. Uh-oh. Oh, he's letting the leaders go by. All right, let's see what happened to Michael Bennett.
Yeah, the two of them made it by, just squeaked past Justice.
Oh. Bennett sideways.
Yep. Oh.
And you see Travis Gilbert up there. He's off the track. Boy, look at Smoot. Good move. Yuck. Alrighty. Let's get back to the race here where Jeremy Burns is still leading this one. Trevor Erhardt trying to keep it close. But a second and a half at a road course is not close enough. He's going to be having to run him down. Let's take a look off the front, or off the top of the hood where Trevor Erhardt is, taking a look at Jeremy Burns driving away with this one. And I've got to admit, Jeremy Burns this season It seems to have really come out and shining this season as the road course king. I mean, he is the man to beat. Normally, we've seen Trevor Erhardt, Justice Murphy, Parker Johnson. Those were your three guys to come out here and go, you know, there's a good chance one of those three are going to win it. Now I think all the chips are on the table for the mountain man out here to have no problem winning a road course race, as he now leads by 2 seconds. So a lot of practice here by Jeremy Burns, a lot of dialing these cars in, a lot of learning about how to how to figure out how to get the right brake bias here and not send that car off too far. Speaking of off too far, Trevor Erhardt into the dirt. Sends it too far on through, and now he's going to lose some positions to Brandon Dunford, who will be perfectly happy taking that spot, as he is right now in on points for the playoff race. Now, some of you guys may be wondering, how do we know about playoff race? If you guys remember anything last year, I tried to do a little assistance. We'll change the colors just a little more, tweak them to make it look a lot better. Over in the tower, all the numbers that are green are guys that are locked into the playoffs. So everybody in yellow is still in the chase and very, very close. There are still some guys that are, yes, in on wins. There are some guys that are still trying to, that are fighting in on points. James Loveland is definitely going to have a good finish here tonight, seeing he's sitting 14th. And right now he's just got to keep going above Jacob Sirkovich, who's sitting 20th right now. Down pit road is still Justice Murphy. And Tyler Harrison, I think, has come back down pit again. Murphy down pit for the last 3 minutes and 30 seconds here. That is not looking good. Out there in the chat, looks like Robert Rader's definitely keeping this chatting alive out there with Devin Hudgens and Chad Lancaster. And don't forget, I believe Douglas Ross is out there as well. Appreciate Douglas Ross coming out there and trying to root these guys on. So we are right now floating above Trevor Erhardt, who's trying to run down Brandon Dunford. Dunford's taking his time. And I've got to admit, Stella, you know, when we look at some of these races at the road course, guys try to keep their eyes out the windshield. You can tell when a guy doesn't because they don't hit their marks, they get a little squirrely, and things start happening because they start staring in that rear view mirror. Like right now, Dunford getting nudged a little bit here by Trevor Erhardt. And if you guys watched anything about the admin roast on the Racing Revolution podcast, Trevor Erhardt is known for wrecking people to make sure he gets them out of his way. But he's trying not to make that happen, as that bus stop went terrible for him. And Brandon Dunford reclaims his spot, but Tay McDonald was taking a peek. McDonald's under fire by now Matthew Robinson, who looks like he is supporting, I believe, a Kellogg's Park Tony the Tiger paint scheme here tonight.
I believe you.
That he is. All right. Matthew Robinson doing pretty well out here. Robinson is in the playoffs. He's sitting there pretty comfortably, if I'm not mistaken.
11th.
11th, okay. Well, 16 is cutoff spot. Once he gets 17th, he is not going to make it. How many? I was going to say, we don't have many races left. We are here at the Glen, and then next week we head to Daytona for the last chance 200. Now, I think there's a little money based on that race there. Heading into Daytona, that should be definitely be a good race. I would like to see somebody who's not locked into the playoffs make an upset. I think that would be fantastic. Jeffrey Israel coming out with his first win and locking all of Element X in, I think is probably going to be Element X's goal, is trying to push him through to the next round.
Well, if any of the people, 17 down, happens to win tonight, that's gonna, I don't know exactly how many points they get for winning, but I would assume that would probably kick off 15 and 16 down the line.
Yeah, it would definitely bump them down. Because it is a win and you're in, but it does require a good amount of time shown up to get that.
Okay.
So, well, yeah, we'll see. Grant Thorpe having a kind of a dismal night here tonight. As you saw, he got in the outside of a 3-wide condition early in the race. Grant Thorpe is trying to scoot away here. He's only lost 2 positions. He's actually been able to recover quite well. Somebody who's recovering from a terrible run here is James Loveland. You see a little smoke coming from turn 1 there. Loveland has moved up 10 positions into 12th. So his 02 Chevrolet is still on a roll here, especially after a 22nd position start. That is not very, very not good. We do have some trouble out here on the track past couple laps. Let's go back and take a look at John Fike back here on lap 5. I think there was some issues at the bus stop.
Alrighty then. Now see, how does that work out? Are you counted as passing somebody? Is that why he held up?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh,
okay.
that's that cannon. Oh.
Oh.
Yikes. Not looking good. I believe I am not taking a look at it here. I believe Justice Murphy is still down and out here on this run. And you got to admit, you know, right now, I mean, I hate it for Justice Murphy. This would have been one he really needed to slam some points down on heading into the playoffs. He's got some stage points. But man, he could use some more. You know, you hate sitting by the skin of your teeth getting through the round of 8. Once we start cutting these guys down, I'm sure he'll make it past the round of 16 into 12. But the round of 8 is going to be the tight spot, especially the way this entire season is going to come to an end.
And speaking of which, we are on lap 10, which is our stage.
Yes, we are on lap 10, but lap 10 has to complete. Right now, we are taking a look at Jeremy Burns rotating through the last turn. He will be the winner of the stage as he goes on through. So, man, oh, man, the number 9 just keeps on rolling here. So far, so good out of the Mountain Man. Let's see if we can take a look at him here. Right now, I know Trevor Erhardt really wishes he could have pushed down the pedal a little easier past couple turns ago. As Burns comes away with the stage win here, that moves Brandon Dunford into second. Matthew Robinson actually gets a good amount of stage points as well, moving himself into third, and Trevor Erhardt has dropped all the way down to fourth. Yeah, so right now, 21 machine not doing so hot. I knew when I was racing earlier this week in the Xfinities, gearing was the key to any success I had out there. These things are normally geared about a 4.0 rear-end gear ratio, and it is terrible. To me, it creates too much wheel spin around the turns. I kick it down one notch, and then I'm able to grip, have the grip that I need, but a little more top-end speed as well, and also help me with some fuel economy. But that was an open setup. These guys are fighting fix next gen, so if they, you don't like what you're racing, too bad. Everybody else has to race it too. Erhardt is now under fire here by Grant Thorpe in the 77 machine. Grant Thorpe still doing a good roll here. Let's see if that Tennessee machine can make it.
Come on.
There he goes. Getting the lean into it here. He'll have the favorable position heading into the S turns. As right now, Trevor Erhardt's got to stay a lot farther out than he wants to be. Excellent job here. Hold on, Grant. Oh, Trevor Erhardt trying to squeeze him down where Justice Murphy broke loose. Boy, oh boy. All right, Grant Thorpe's got a nudge over here to the left to get a favorable shot into the bus stop. Trevor Erhardt checks up and goes in and lets Grant Thorpe on through. Can Erhardt overcome? Oh, no. Erhardt getting back side by side, heading into the carousel. Right now, Grant Thorpe, he's got to be smiling right now, seeing how Trevor Erhardt is.
Oh, no.
Whoa. Boy, here we go. What do you do? Off, off, off. Oh, gosh. Man. That is actually the boot for the guys in the GT3 leagues. That is going to move Erhardt down to 11th, 12th, 13th. Keep on going back, and he's going to be fighting some damage here for the rest of this race. This is going to be really tough.
Yeah, that's a shame. We were watching Grant as it happened, boy. You saw the wheel.
Yeah, him trying to fight it back. I got to give it to him there for at least trying to hold it together. That was some great racing there, though. I do admit I would love to have seen it been a lot cleaner and then managed to break back out of that. Let's take a look at Tay McDonald here. Let's see how Tay's doing. Got to be comfortable. Ooh. Somebody using a shifter here? Yeah, it's a good time to downshift. I know see if he's paddle shifting in there. Interesting. Yeah, I didn't have the opportunity to try the next gen. Yeah, he's got a sequential shifter there on the bottom. No paddles for him. So, looks like he almost hangs out in third gear, coming through the bus stop and then through the carousel. So not too shabby there from Tay McDonald. As you can see, he has moved himself to fourth position, still locked in the playoffs. But I've got to admit here, Stella, guys in the playoffs, to me, even if you're locked in, there's no reason why you shouldn't continue digging here. You've got to put some times down, and you've got to get every last point you can get, because when you got drivers like Erhardt, you got drivers like Grant Thorpe, Justice Murphy, Robert Rader in there, and Jeremy Burns. I don't want to leave him out. You got Alex Forget, you got Caleb Gilbert, who to me almost out of nowhere has come away with an insane amount of wins this season. You can't risk losing any kind of stage points here or taking a day off, which Mr. Rader is rolling the dice here heading into the playoffs, as he is a Season 1 and Season 2 champion, is trying to reprise Season 3 here, but can he make it? That's going to be tough, as he is not coming out on top on the points this season, heading into the playoffs. Last time I believe he had 7 wins last season.
Yeah, he's not going in from the get-go, but it's who's standing at the end, right?
Yeah. Now, it's definitely when it comes down to Phoenix. I've always poked a few guys. Have you ever thought about practicing for Phoenix, at the round of 12 or the round of 16? Because when it gets to Phoenix, Rader definitely knows how to come out on top at that race. But this is man. This is looking good right now. Tay doing a great job here. Let's rotate on back. Let's see where James Loveland is. I believe Caleb Gilbert is going to come down pit. He has some damage on the left front of his machine.
I did see somebody in pit.
Yeah. Now, he may have to fix some of that damage here. Let's take a peek at what he's got.
Boom.
Yeah, he's folded up pretty bad here. I would probably expect to see him not fix it and get on back out there. Loveland, 13 positions now gained, as he breaks himself into the top 10. Now, I've got to admit, Loveland, missing so many races, is sitting in the points. He has moved up. He's in the top 16, but even with wins or not, he was not able to get into the playoffs via a win because of the lack of attendance, but that's A-okay. Everybody's definitely didn't. I think everybody expected James Loveland to come out here and do just this, as be the man on the move, and roll through in the points. I am so impressed to see how far he's come in so little time. To see him recover back from not being here, still make the playoffs, and I would like to see James Loveland, actually race in the playoffs this time. If you remember what happened last season.
I do believe so. Was he not called away and he ended up giving his place to someone else?
That he did. Gave his place to another driver to allow them. I believe Alex Kenton was the one to squeeze in there at the very end. We saw the race at Daytona. Nick Alves almost missed out on that one. Not being able to get away. He needed a win at Daytona. And you remember Jeremy Burns with a broken toe link racing across the line. Gosh. Man, that's the kind of stuff you just can't make up.
That's still up for debate, eh?
Oh, yeah. All right, our leader is heading on down pit road with over a 10-second lead. Brandon Dunford, he's going to do the same here. Looks like he's lining up. Matthew Robinson as well. Robinson would sit in top 3. Tay McDonald. Let's see if anybody else. Normally, Travis Gilbert stays out. He's not. Parker's coming in. Alex Forget. There we go. I knew somebody was going to come back and get into the lead. So let's see. That's going to send Burns on back as Alex Forget decides to stay out. Grant Thorpe as well decides to stay out, so the fuel calculator's got this one dialed in, and he moves himself into second. Forget, top highest spot of the day, and as he has the lead here, Burns working his way out of pit now. He's got to hurry up. Now I've got to take a minute here. Only about eight and a second, 8 seconds and a quarter in his pit stall. Some of these drivers are deciding to
Splash and go.
try a few different things. Mr. Dunford has taken some tires, 13.35. I believe also Travis Gilbert, 13.53. So a couple of drivers have decided to take maybe right side tires.
But as
left
Douglas
side
says, make sure you let them heat up first.
Yeah,
Don't get all froggy out there.
Yeah, well, once the rubber starts building up on the track, you would think it would get tacky, but you see Travis already sliding around a little bit here, trying to keep it stuck to the track as he heads in the bus stop. We'll see how he feels about this, because it's definitely going to get nasty once he tries to make this turn. I know taking tires heading in the carousel, to me, was the hardest part, because it tries to kick. Whoa! Car straightens up right there. Right? Right, yeah. Oh, man, hold it.
Are you leaning in your seat? You sound like you're leaning over.
I gotta admit, yeah, some of these guys out there, I gotta admit, you guys probably out there watching as well, watching Travis Gilbert slide around the track here, trying to keep this thing stuck. It's definitely not as easy as it looks. The throttle control is amazing what you got to do here. Grant Thorpe, Alice Forget down pit road, and Dylan Smoot as well. Let's see. Jeremy Burns back into the lead, and away he goes. And if you thought his 10-second lead wasn't good enough, he's up to now 12.
12.
Yeah, that does put Matthew Robinson into a second place. Man, I'll guarantee you this is exactly where he'd like to be here, at the end of this race, is a second place at a road course. Tay McDonald coming third, that would be huge, and a huge boost of confidence seeing how Tay McDonald's luck has been. For at least 4 races, he's kind of been totaled out there, and he's definitely been able to lay down some solid times here tonight, and this is working out perfectly. So Tay McDonald with a top 5 start, sitting at a podium position. Brandon Dunford seems to be barreling down on him as he is picking up speed and starting to run him down. Does he have enough time to make it to the end? Absolutely, but can he? Does this make a difference when it gets to the end here, Stella?
Yeah, well, that's where the rubber meets the road, is where is it that you finish? I mean, a lot of the guys that started up front are now down and out, and the ones that are started way in the back, like Alex Forget, are up in the top 10. So.
Seeing Tay McDonald in kind of the battle for third here, as McDonald is losing about 2/10 as Brandon Dunford is reeling him in. This is looking pretty hot, as Tay McDonald may just be hitting different high points, able to stretch it right back out again through the S-turns. Excellent job here by Tay McDonald, trying to see if he can hold off Brandon Dunford. Not too bad. So McDonald and Dunford going at it, one Ford and one Toyota, having their way with this track, as some drivers have been definitely punished here during the race. There has not been a happy place out there on the track. I do want to take a look back at lap 12. Maybe a different angle of how this one kind of came about, how these two made contact, because that is not a good look here from this angle. Let's see if we can find something.
Yeah, here we go.
Yeah, I might have hooked him there a little bit.
Yeah. But was he realizing he hooked him right in the place where he then couldn't make the turn either? Now see, here's one for you. Parker Johnston, in 5th place right now. He's one of those outliers that if he had a win, he would push everybody.
Yes. Yes, he would be one of the ones saying that 48 machine and that Chevrolet trying to get going here. I got to admit, still a top 5 here would be doing really, really well for the Big O Foundation Chevrolet. Trying to see if he can keep going here. Let's take another look at the points we were talking about there, guys, and show you kind of how close this race is getting as this boils down to the end. Cale Gilbert is in the lead there. Remember, right there at 16th spot where James Loveland is. That moves us to Jeffrey Israel, Parker Johnston, Dylan Smoot are in striking distance. So right now with Justice Murphy, he's locked in with a win. That is going to knock him down, though. Nick Alves suspended for a race. That's going to knock him down, but he's also in with a win. And a couple of other drivers are going to be looking a lot more trouble out there if they can't shape it up. I don't believe Jeffrey Israel showed up here tonight, so that is going to knock him farther down. And this may just give Parker kind of a layup here, running into this one, seeing where Jacob Sarkovic is sitting is 18th. Yeah, so right now, as this kind of keeps boiling down with only 25 laps left to go, all Jeremy Burns' race here, 13.5 seconds ahead right now. Man on the move is Jeremy Burns. We'll take a ride along with him here and kind of see maybe some of that handwork he's doing here and see what he's doing different from everybody else.
Boy, a lot of shifting. Fourth, third, second, and now back up he goes.
Sequential shifting definitely makes it a lot easier.
So tell everybody what sequential shifting is.
You can pretty much shift with a set of paddles or a set of buttons. Some guys do have H pattern shifter, which is what you see Tay or Trevor Erhardt using more often.
Like a normal car.
Right, like a normal car, which is an H pattern, so for a second, third, and fourth. With these having 5, they decided to make them sequential, so it's just a button that they have to shift, and most likely have an auto clutch feature. They do not have to push the clutch in to shift these cars.
Oh. Huh. So almost an automatic.
Or an Indy car, yeah. Indy's just kind of smack them and go.
Really? Okay.
Yep. Boy, Jeremy Burns is so fast. I mean, that's one lap.
He's got a line, man.
Yeah.
He does.
If you want to talk some of the fastest laps out here on the track, Jeremy Burns does have one of them with an 1:11:39. I mean, that is just insanely fast. I mean, I'm so impressed at what he has been doing the past few, the end of the last season. He is not looking to be behind or knocked out because of Nick Alves. He is coming here with a vengeance this time. And I assure you, he will not go down without a fight. And if you were to put money in somebody's corner here, this may be the guy to take the season and unseat Raider from the throne. Is this number 9 here? Now they are teammates, so I would love to see what they do with 5 to go.
Yeah, there may not be that much blocking, and whatnot to get somebody in as. When they're both on the same team, but the fastest qualifying time at this track is only a 1:08.
Wow!
So if they're running 1:11s, that's hella good
on a fixed setup. Yeah,
yep.
On a fixed setup. All right, let's kind of check back in with Trevor Erhardt, who's been out of the top 10 here for a little while. He's got to make up about a second here and catch James Loveland to get that top 10 finish. But Erhardt, he's actually been falling off a little bit here the past couple of laps, trying to run down Loveland. Loveland just has a great line here tonight. And I don't know if maybe some track conditions out there are tripping up Trevor Erhardt here. Because we got 97-degree temperature on the track. I was racing during 106, 107.
Yeah, he's cutting these corners really wide. I mean, does that mean he's slipping, or his gear is given out?
In what way? Why you see him sliding around a little bit?
Yeah, I mean he's like I said, some guys use the off-road as doing it on purpose, but he seems to be taking a couple of these corners so wide that it almost seems like an out-of-control ride.
Some of it may just be trying to carry some of that speed, as you see him putting a lot more turning effort than Loveland was there, which may take effect onto the tires. Remember, these guys haven't taken tires. They came down for fuel and goes, and then they're going to run back out there. I noticed Trevor Erhardt may still be fighting a little bit of damage there that he collected with Grant Thorpe back on lap 12. But I don't know. It's odd. Trevor Erhardt just doesn't seem that solid here tonight. And I think something might be, something might be tripping him up here. I just don't know if track conditions aren't what he expected, or it's just in a bad spot. But out there, Stella, we got a battle out there on the YouTube chat here, and Nick is saying, to be fair, no blocking was needed for him to win that race. And I would assume he's talking about Darlington that knocked off Jeremy Burns last year. Travis Gilbert had the pit strategy that race, and I believe it was Caleb Gilbert and Raider became the steel curtain, if I may, for that race. But I think Nick Alves is going to have a little bit of missing Burns out there here in a little bit. But it was, I would admit, that was, they did have some great side-by-side racing at Darlington, and they may have that opportunity again, seeing that will be the first race of the round of 16.
Very nice segue.
Yeah, for the throwback 250. I can't wait to see that one. That should be a good one. But first, let's get through the Glen here before we head to Daytona next week. I am just about all road coursed out here as these guys continue on through. Parker Johnston is sitting 5th, but he would need a miracle to come away with a win. 24 seconds behind here. Jeremy Burns fumbles with a speeding penalty. That could be one of them.
That would be vicious. I mean, you'd have to, what, sit 30 seconds in pit like everywhere else?
Yep.
Oh.
So I believe we have a few drivers that have been taking him back to pit, actually back to the garage and down pit road. I believe Logan Romney has taken it to the garage. Albert Likens, John Fike, Christopher Schaefer, and Zach Hanna have all taken it back to the garage. Justice Murphy still trying to piece his car together for 28 and a half minutes. I think he'll be able to return. But Logan Romney said he had a problem back on lap 24. And we're going to take a peek and see what exactly happened to this guy. Whoa!
That'll do it. Did he blip?
No, right there. I was looking to see what caught him there. And you can see right here he catches the grass. See the dent? And then it just slips him.
Yep.
Boy, that would have been sweet if he had missed that wall. It looked like he meant to do it.
Yeah.
Alrighty, out there in the chat, Justice Murphy saying he's in the garage. Right now, I'm sure he's got a baseball bat after his car after what it just did to him.
Oh.
All
Well,
right, sure.
better the car than somebody else.
All right, let's see how Trevor Erhardt works around Daniel Holloway here. The Candyman sitting 18th here in the race. Trying to see if he can hold it here. Holloway goes in and lets him on by. Not too bad. Jeremy Burns, he's 16 seconds ahead. And we'll take a look through our drivers here as we head to commercial break, and we'll be right back.
For the finest in vinyl siding, rain gutters, overhangs, storm and replacement windows, even patios and decks, trust in the experts at Ultimate Siding and Gutters. In addition to being licensed and insured, our technicians are also friendly and courteous, performing hassle-free service and installation at affordable rates. Plus, we provide free estimates for commercial and residential structures. Our entire staff will exceed your expectations. For the ultimate in siding, gutters, and much more, call Ultimate Siding and Gutters today.
And so we had an issue at a plant about 2 weeks ago. It was a traditional municipal wastewater treatment plant. Tremendous foaming on top of the basins. And so me and our lead operator for the site got our heads together. We pulled some samples, did the analysis of those samples. We actually looked at the bugs from the system under a microscope so that we could see the type of bug that was actually growing in there. And what we found actually was that there were very few bugs growing in there. The higher life forms in particular had died off, and we had the single cell protozoa type of bacteria growing in there. So what that told us was we probably got hit with some kind of toxic shock at the facility. So we immediately changed the way we were operating the plant. We changed the return activated sludge rates, the wasting rates, and did a few other things around the facility to try to really buffer ourselves against whatever had happened, because it's too late, right? It's already in the plant. So we're trying to buffer ourselves against whatever that toxic event was, because if it just happened, yesterday, it's liable to happen again today. Usually these things go in like threes. And so it's taking real world experience, knowing that we not only needed to look at the analytical data that we were collecting at the time, but also looking at the bugs under the microscope, determining what's going on with the bug population in the aeration basins, and then taking that information, layering that together with the data we collected through analytical analysis, and coming up with a solution based on all that combined, which I think is a pretty unique approach to dealing with a problem like that at a facility.
Looks like we've had
15
a
laps
rain.
left to go here on the track here at Watkins Glen. Stella, you are super excited about coming back from that commercial break. And I've got to admit, I am super excited to be bringing you this race from KSX Racing Graphics. Tell me a little bit about it.
Well, you can find Keith Stone Racing Graphics on Facebook, and they are good for all your logos and paints and graphics, etc. All custom made to fit all your wants and needs. It doesn't matter if you're first or last, KSX will make you look good so you can feel good and race well. So look up Keith Stone, one word, Racing Graphics.
Racing graphics, huh? That's pretty slick. I like that.
Yeah, I believe they should have a car out here tonight.
That they do. I believe Mr. Trevor Keith.
Aha. There we go.
Cool. Right. Well, right now, Trevor Keith is sitting 13th as James Loveland comes down into pit. A couple of drivers still are considering when to pit. Jeremy Burns, he's decided he's going to come down as well for his second, and I'm sure his final time coming down pit road for fuel. Now, does he take tires the second time? It would be interesting to see if right side tires were taken the first time and then left side tires the second time. Would be pretty interesting. We'll see if we can take a look something other than the backside of his pit crew here and see how the number 9 Chapman Environmental Services Ford does here. Ooh.
I think it's cute that he still has Ninja Turtles for a pit crew.
Well, so far so good. It seems to be working for him. Daniel Holloway uses a smiley face racing helmet, and it works for him. So if the Ninja Turtles work for Jeremy Burns, then let him have it.
That's it.
Alrighty. Well, speaking of Chapman Environmental Services, Jeremy Burns Chips comes into pit and comes back out of pit, still almost 6 seconds ahead. And that is awesome, especially a great shout out there for Chapman Environmental Services. Stella, give it to me.
Well, you've got Chapman that provides integrated environmental management and consulting services, including broad spectrum regulatory compliance, permitting, field sampling services, and more. You can find out more about them by visiting chapmanes.com.
Field sampling. I need some of that.
Okay.
Definitely want to build a house, but man, it's just not happening.
Oh.
Because somebody won't do any field sampling. All right, let's keep this on going. Top 5 drivers here of the night. Jeremy Burns leading just about all of this race here so far. The fuel calculator, Grant Thorpe sits second, but he still has to pit. Michael Bennett sits third. Matthew Robinson is fourth, and Bennett now coming down pit. Tay McDonald going to remain out, so that is going to bring Bennett down to fifth. Remember, he was spun out there. Looked like he got a little loose, and then from what out there in the chat we're saying, too much rear brake bias ended up sending that 14 on around. So he's going to have to head back to the drawing board. As we saw him get spun out on his own accord, and then a little extra nudge there from Alex Forget. Forget now sitting in fifth with his Toyota. So right now, so far so good. The Toyotas out here tonight. The ones that are here and showing right now sitting fifth and sixth. Tyler Harrison's Toyota is right now spending 3 minutes down pit, sitting 19th. And Zach Hanna checked out back on lap 7. Let's take a look at Tyler Harrison as he is down pit. Lap 28 did not treat him so well. Let's take a look. Oh, turn 1. Oh, it gets slick over there. Look out. Oh, no. Don't quit. No.
Yeah.
Boo. Dang it. Hate when people do that. Finally said they had enough. All right, fuel calculator has dialed this one in. Down pit road he comes. You already see he's still fighting some right front fender damage here as he heads into his pit stall. Looks like Justice Murphy has just about got all the dents hammered out there. Oh, man. Yeah, I would love to see if we ever get a chance to see if Justice Murphy is able to bring a little something from BDE Motorsports. I'm sure he's talking to Jacob Sirkovich a little bit, trying to see if they can pick him up, because remember, he is right at that cutoff line. Extremely close, so he's got to keep charging forward here, and a good finish tonight would help him.
My heavens, that was a pretty wide turn there for Jacob.
We'll definitely see if Jacob Sirkovich can continue the roll on through here. Right now sitting 17th, and he has already pit back on lap 32. He may be able to squeak it out all the way to the end. Seeing we only have about 10 laps left to go here. Burns still in the lead. Really, it seems like nothing is slowing this guy down even a little bit here, as he is stretched out to almost a 19-second lead. I mean,
crazy.
Yeah, this is pretty impressive here, what we're seeing. Let's see if I can find a track map and the position numbers. You're looking for the number 1 there at the top of the screen, going through the bus stop and the carousel, and the number 2 and the number 3 are the guys in second and third that are now hitting the top of the screen. That is the distance Jeremy Burns has right now on the remainder of this field.
That's comfortable. That's what millionaires say, when they're around poor people, is, I'm comfortable.
Yeah. Oh boy, this is something right here. This is something right here. Jeremy Burns still on a roll here.
Who's he creeping up on?
Yeah. We'll see here in just a second. We'll actually transfer over here. I believe that is Kevin Orlando he's catching.
Okay.
Let's see if we can rotate on over to our driver mashup here. A couple drivers did show up here tonight.
Hi, guys.
Yeah. There we go. I always say, whenever you see, oh boy, Grant Thorpe right there. Good Lord. I saw him kind of snap that wheel back. I didn't know if he tried to break loose. Something not looking good. So, Let's keep this going. Right now we got Jeremy Burns, Tay McDonald. Oh, yeah. All these guys.
Now, see, I have a question. Does this road course and hitting all these rumble strips and things like that, do you think that affects the driving abilities? I mean, I see some of these fellas' rigs, shaking versus other ones that don't shake. You think it's making it that much harder on them physically?
Yes, the feedback is exactly what you want, but you can't feel the car unless you've got something, giving back a little bit. I always try to place it as you can't feel the track, you can't feel the car sliding around. So the best thing you can get is more out of the wheel. So you kind of have to guess what the car is doing, how it feels coming through these turns, how it feels, how hard is the wheel to turn. You could be feeling how the car is dragging and it's not one to pull on through. It's just so difficult. So yes, after road coursing for a while, yeah, these guys are starting to wear out. And you'll notice a lot of these guys are starting to wear driving gloves. And it helps with your fingers sliding on around the steering wheel to help let go to place or to have a little bit of grip, especially when it's spinning out. So you see Grant Thorpe down there. You see he's wearing driving gloves. Well, look at how much his wheel's moving. So I think also I like, having this opportunity is seeing guys who might be in trouble, guys who are wheeling it. Like, look at Alex Forget down there. Man, he is right now. He is wheeling it. I love it. So right now, Alex Forget, you see him wheeling it on through. You see Trevor. You kind of got that game face, but also look at where the steering wheels are on these guys. Grant Thorpe about chest high. You see also Michael Bennett about chest high. Notice how low Jeremy Burns is.
Yes.
And that's very, very low. So it's interesting to see. I've seen some guys drive with both hands on the right side of the wheel and lean over where they're almost, they can almost chew the top of the steering wheel. So it's different to see, if you're a fellow iRacer out there, what these guys do. What makes these guys so fast? What do they do different that maybe I could try next? I knew we discussed one time having Kevin Orlando, when we were talking how his arms were so much more straight out. When you see a lot of these guys' arms are so bent, it works for Kevin Orlando, but it was just one of those, what is he doing different that the rest of us might want to try, or try to see if it works for you. So I love being able to use these camera angles and being able to see the drivers out there of different things that they do out there to see kind of what kind of different angles that these guys are able to capture and be able to do. All right, let's go ahead and bring it back live here as we only have 6 laps left to go. And right now, Jeremy Burns rotating through turn number 1, absolutely unfazed by any sort of track conditions here. No, Wheel Biter's back in Coca-Cola series. I saw that guy leaning on it. I think he had a 50-inch screen TV. He was less than 8 inches from it, and he leans over the wheel. So I don't know how he races like that, but he does it.
Hey, he's in Coca-Cola.
All right.
Oh, yay! Justice answered me on the chat too. Said guys with more force feedback struggle more with the road courses.
That's probably why it feels like my arms are going to fall off after about 12 laps. Force feedback's only at 80%. Ugh.
Oh, he says Jeremy has little force feedback. He says so it's a big advantage.
Yeah. I know.
Gonna say, hear that, guys? Listening? Dial it back.
Yeah, I guess so. I've always wondered if any sort of force feedback, adjustment would help. In my case, I every time I race, I always feel like I'm fighting the car around the turns. But it works very, very well when I come to an open setup. With these fixed ones, I just can't do it. But Jeremy Burns seems to have it down. Matthew Robinson sitting second. Tay McDonald back up to third. Alex Forget still on a roll here, sitting fourth. And Brandon Dunford is fifth. Trevor Erhardt has fought himself up to sixth, but he's got Parker Johnson getting next. Grant Thorpe, the fuel calculator, sitting eighth with Caleb Gilbert ninth, and rounding out our top 10 will be James Loveland. Michael Bennett had an interesting pit stop, almost 9.32 seconds, another second longer than anybody else on the track. It seemed to unfortunately drop him down to that 12th position. He has been unable to recover most of this race after the spin out earlier in the race on lap 1 that he was back there with Alice Forget. Looking to see if Travis Gilbert's going to be able to get a top 10 finish here. Right now he's trying to see if he can run down James Loveland. Got to make up about 2.5 seconds to catch him though. A couple of drivers are looking to see if anybody's any sort of close out there. I know Alice Forget just overcame Brandon Gunn. And right now, Alice Forget has got to make up about 8.5 seconds to reach out to Tay. So these are the two closest drivers out there on the track, Alice Forget and Brandon Dunford. And then this kind of, boy, this is...
They're stringy. Or I didn't want to say strung out because that has a different connotation, but I thought, they're definitely getting separated.
Oh, yeah. I'm looking to see if Dunford's trying to put some moves here on Alice Forget. It looked like in the turn 1 he was trying to set him up there a little bit. And it looks like not only do we have battles on the track, we also have battles out there in the chat.
I wouldn't go in there.
I love to see it. The judge is putting down his decision here.
I would not get in that one with him.
I do want to admit, take a look at the last time here by Jeremy Burns of an 11:34, the fastest time on the track he just put down last lap. He's actually picking up speed, 1:11:07 now.
Okay.
He's gone, what are we looking at, 42 laps? And he's picking up speed.
Yep.
Most guys start falling off. Jeremy Burns is picking up speed. Holy cow.
And he doesn't even, quote, need to.
No, I think he's just trying to punish. I think right now he's trying to make a statement here. I would say, boy, look at him slide around that turn.
I do believe there's a record that is up for grabs right now. The largest distance, what would be the word? Victory margin.
A lot margin of victory?
Yes.
Yeah. Would probably say Cup records is where we would end up finding him. And the largest margin of victory was set by Robert Rader in the 2022 season 1 of a 21.305.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Well, you know what they're going to do is something tells them we're going to break this one apart, and we're going to say largest margin of victory on a road course.
Oh, okay. Oh, justice.
Now, right now, I don't think if Jeremy Burns continues this roll, he's going to drop just shy of breaking Rob's record of 9 wins in a season for the 2022-2023 season 2. That would be pretty impressive. Right now, the all-time win record for Raider is 17.
My.
Yeah, he's on a roll. Right now, Jeremy Burns is sitting at 6, lining himself up for number 7.
All right. We only need a little bit more time in the saddle.
Oh, yeah. Now, Robert Rader's got to get back out here. He's got to put some time down here. Because right now, this guy's on the move. 2 to go, last lap this time by.
Here's one for you. Who's won the most at Watkins Glen? I mean, real life,
I have no idea.
Well...
Don't tell me it's somebody like Kozlowski. That would be...
Nope. No. Now, some people go bleh when they hear his name, but no. But he's one of your favorites, I believe. To me, I would not have guessed Tony Stewart.
Really?
See? You wouldn't have either. Yeah, he has the most wins with 5.
Here at the Glen?
Yeah.
No kidding.
No
All
kidding.
right. Well, Jeremy Burns only has a little bit left of the track as we see him rolling on through here as he gets... Man, this guy's on a roll. Through the carousel and the last 2 turns as he comes up on him here. getting by this last lap car. Right now, Trevor Keith trying to stay on the lead lap here in the number 15. He's sitting 14th right now, and I guarantee you Trevor Keith is telling Jeremy Burns, come on, man, just let me stay in it. Alrighty, as we take a look, Jeremy Burns wins the KSX Racing Graphix 104. What an excellent run here. Let's take a look all the way back here in the second position, Matthew Robinson. Robinson trying to stay ahead of Tay McDonald. McDonald right on him now. Here he comes, coming through the last turn. Oh, Tay McDonald not going to have enough, but still a respectable third place here for Tay McDonald as Matthew Robinson gets second place here tonight. Not too bad. This is awesome. Great job. Alice Forget working his way for fourth. Brandon Dunford unable to roll him down. Sits fifth. Parker Johnston. Here he comes. Parker Johnston, sixth. Grant Thorpe, seventh. Trevor Erhardt fights back up to eighth position. Here comes Caleb Gilbert, a points leader, but James Loveland shooting at the line. Whoa. 20 thousandths of a second.
Do not believe he made it. Oh,
20
wow.
thousandths of a second. James Loveland going for it. I love it. I love it. Got to give it to him there. Excellent job. I got to admit, not too many bang-ups here for this race. For the drivers out here, they tried to maintain and not get blasted to pieces. So Jeremy Burns, Matthew Robinson, Tay McDonald, Alice Forget, and Brandon Dunford coming in fifth. Not too bad. Only one Chevrolet in our top five, and that being Matthew Robinson's there. Gotta give it to Dunford for not too bad. This guy has been kind of quiet lately, but he's been able to gum up and remain consistent. So this is going to be huge for their points gain here, and we'll definitely have a little conversation with them later on when they get into some podium positions here. But that is going to be Tay McDonald here. It's going to be the first guy we're going to try to run down, but an excellent race here tonight. And I hate to see for some of the drivers out there we've seen race out here tonight just unable to end up in the wrong place, or something didn't quite go the way they thought right here at the end. This is just very unfortunate. I hate seeing Justice Murphy kind of get spun out. I mean, Trevor Erhardt and Grant Thorpe getting hammered up a little bit there. I hate seeing that, but still, regardless, the race that happened here tonight, this could have been a lot worse.
Oh yeah, I think all in all it was a nice race, a clean race, and it was not painful. Sometimes these road courses, you have to admit, could be painful, but this was nice, easy going.
Oh yeah. Alrighty, how many wins for the number 9?
Oops.
That should give him 7 for the season here. I always wonder if winning gets old for him. But we'll definitely run him down and have a conversation.
Yeah.
Let's see what we got. Guys, appreciate you hanging in there. Let's go ahead and see if we can run him down.
Yes, sir.
Alrighty, everybody. Here we are. Third place finisher, Tay McDonald. I've got to admit, bud, this has been an absolute dismal end of the season, but it finally comes out with a top 3 finish here at the Glen. So talk to me about your race here tonight.
Well, I've been practicing for about a week. I knew coming in, if I could just keep it on the track, I could get it decent finish. I wasn't expecting a podium, but I was feeling good coming in, and I've been looking forward to this.
All right. Well, the Glen definitely treated you well here tonight. What did you find was the hardest part out there for you?
Honestly, just try not to overstep. You want to push as hard as you can, and just be right there on that line, and just overstepping. I mean, I'm sure I didn't see a lot of spins. I seen a couple, but that's just key at these road courses. Just keep the tires on the track, and you should be okay.
All right, man. You are ninth right now in the standings after drop races. You're continuing to march your way on up. I would not say you're an underdog here in this entire series, as you've been doing a fantastic job week in and week out. Kind of what are you finding to be so successful, not just at road courses, but these 1.5-mile tracks and the super speedways as well?
Excuse me. Just honestly trying not to overdrive and get inside my own head. I just go out there and I do what I know I can do, and just keep it clean. And usually it results in a top 10. Last 4 or 5 weeks haven't been so good to me. So I've kind of regrouped and just kind of went with that mindset of, just do what I can and not try to overdrive and prove people wrong and do these, stupid moves.
Yeah, well, definitely. You when you say regroup, I'm sure you mean a little mental zen. Get back, get yourself back. I'm sure the Racing Revolution and I definitely appreciate you coming back, Tay, and definitely putting on a great show for us, man. I don't get to talk to you a lot here in the booth, but I'm glad we were able to talk to you tonight. But before I let you go, and yeah, I get your shout outs, Daytona is where we end up next time. It's always a crapshoot there. Unfortunately, you aren't on the edge of the points teetering there. So, I mean, how do we look out here? And, I mean, do we look out for teammates, or is this all for one and one for all?
It's honestly going to be kind of like tonight, just try to survive. I know we get one fast repair, but those go quickly. Just try to survive and, keep the momentum going into the playoffs. I want to, be there for my team and I appreciate my teammates, for being there for me. So I just, go out there and just survive and make some noise in the playoffs.
All righty, my man. Shout out time.
Again, my teammates, I want to thank you, Simtrax Broadcasting, you and Stella. You guys do an amazing job. I want to thank the league sponsors, Chapman Environmental Services, Butt Kicker, Ultimate Siding and Gutters. And I want to thank my grandma for being my biggest supporter. I just want to thank the guys in the league for accepting me back.
Yeah, buddy. Hey, I appreciate being on the back of your car as well.
Yes, sir. It looks good, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah, dude. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Appreciate it,
Yes,
Tay, and hopefully we'll talk to you again next week.
Yes, sir. Hopefully. Thank you.
All right. That's it. Gonna be for Tay. I gotta admit, that's a pretty cool guy to talk to. We don't talk to him a lot here in the booth. Maybe a couple of times. I think maybe back at Atlanta, we talked to him there as well. I'm not 100% sure. Maybe Kansas as well. But we'll definitely kind of pull a rabbit out of our hat if we can remember that. Let's see if I can rotate to our second place finisher, Matthew Robinson. Somebody who's not rocking a Simtrax here tonight. Dude, talk to me about this race. It was it the paint scheme that got us up there?
God, I have no idea. It's my home track. I felt really good all week practicing. Did a couple officials. Burns was in one of my officials. I knew he was going to be wicked fast. I mean, I was trying to run as hard as I could, and there was no way I could run 11-0.
Yeah, he was insanely fast tonight. And what I think what bugged some of us, even in the booth and some of our viewers, he was picking up speed at the end. Most people have started, tire fall off and different fuel savings and he was picking up speed. So it was quite impressive. But regardless, still, you came out with a second place finish tonight. You're already locked into the playoffs here, but only by points. No wins yet. We have Daytona next week. I mean, is that going to be the one for you?
I wish. Daytona, I am not here for next week. So it was, I know, it's right where I was going to get my win, but, it was get as many points as possible today, put myself in a safer position away from the top or 15 and 16 that I mean, any of those guys could win, and I could get knocked out because next week's not a drop race.
Oof. Oof. Boy. All right. Well, I know some of the admins are watching out here on the broadcast. We talked paint scheme. What about the Denny Hamlin shirt? I mean, did anything bring you luck tonight?
Yeah, I have no idea. I just felt really good. Like I said, it's my home track. I went there this weekend with my boy and just had a blast, and just was one of those tracks that I felt comfortable at, and things just fell my way.
All right, man. Well, appreciate you racing here with the Racing Revolution League. These guys definitely bring a bigger and better class of racing. Talk to me, Matthew. Give me your shout-outs here, because Daytona, you ain't here, man. We're gonna have to kind of give it a crapshoot heading into the first round of the playoffs.
Yeah, shout out to Chapman, Sim Tracks, all of you guys, everybody that sponsors Butt Kicker. Performance Motorsports. I mean, we practiced all week. These guys are fantastic. I couldn't ask for better crew. My wife, my kids, my parents that watch every single week. It's just everybody that cheers me on. Appreciate it.
All righty, Matthew Robinson. Congratulations on your second place finish, and hopefully we'll see you at the first round of the playoffs.
Yes, sir. Have a good one.
You too. All right, that's Matthew Robinson there. I don't think he liked me poking him about his Tony the Tiger paint.
Oh, well,
That's
he has
okay.
Pop-Tarts. He has Pop-Tarts on there, too. I mean,
All right, well, it's the Kellogg's car then. You happy?
Okay, yeah.
Good Lord. All right, well, let's go ahead and see if we can find the mountain man out there. He definitely climbed one here tonight as the number 9. Charged ahead, wins the race again. Now he's up to 7 here with the Racing Revolution League, and I'm sure he's got a boatload after that. I know I've chased him in an 87 before, and with absolutely no success being able to run him down there either. Jeremy Burns, the Glen is yours here for the KSX Racing Graphix 104. Talk to me about this race.
Yeah, I mean, we knew coming in, like last night, we practiced very well. We just seemed to have a leg up. So tonight it was all about execution. It started in practice. We set the fastest time. We went to qualifying, set the fastest time. And then once we got into the race, clear turn 1, get rid of lap 1 and just, keep running from then on. And then after that, it's just execution on pit road. And as it got towards the end, it's more about a mental game. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think I actually just broke a record, Rob's record for the largest margin of victory. So
Maybe.
that was kind of something that I was working towards, and I was really circling it for tonight, and that kind of kept my mind in it towards the later half of the race.
Wow. From what I'm showing here, I think it was a 22.68 interval. Which definitely gets it. We'll see if they draw a line and say largest margin of victory at a road course. They're gonna make you your own section.
It's already been thrown out there. Don't laugh.
I mean, I think what's more impressive about it, and I really wanted to strive myself this week to get a 0x on a road course, and I have to look back through, but I think I was the only person to have a 0x tonight. So that's even more impressive. Just keeping it on the track within track limits of iRacing standards, at least, and to go out there and perform at such a high level. It just shows that we're here and we're ready for the playoffs.
How were we picking up speed at the end?
Well, it's weird because iRacing just doesn't have tire wear for road courses. I mean, nobody changed tires, and if they did, then they probably lost speed because of cold tires. Overall, the brakes got a lot of heat in them towards the end, and just trying to scrub it off as much as possible and get aggressive into the braking zones. I feel like a lot of people early on, they were going up through the S's and pushing too hard. Meanwhile, I was just having it stick to the track, and you can kind of hear if the car is skirting away, and that means you're pushing it a little bit too hard. So I tried keeping it under the belt for the first, 2-3 quarters of the race. And after that, I was just like, you know what? It's time to go set hot laps. I got to go and get this record. And I had to manage the risk versus reward and, going through lap traffic just because, I don't want to wreck just chasing after a record. So overall, we sped up towards the end, just, trying to be as good as we can, be as perfect as we can. And the brakes had a lot to do with that. And the grip level in the track also had a lot to do with that because the track overall speeds up, at least for road courses in iRacing.
All right, well, I've definitely got to try that out. I know I raced. I've been telling a couple people I raced Xfinities, man, and my tires just about fell off the car after 21 laps. So you saying no tire fall off here in the next gens, boy, I would love to see that. That would have been fantastic. I think I'd have done a lot better if that were the case. But right now, I know some of the talk has been teams, and right now we are looking at probably Performance Motorsports, and we're looking at Element X. These two teams are going to be the ones, to me, they're going to be knocking each other out here in the playoffs. I know BDE's kind of teetering on the edge, and so is Go for Broke. Mayhem definitely has somebody, Brandon Dunford, who's toying around with it, and Trevor Keith. So, how does your team prepare for what's coming up next, seeing that we head to Daytona next?
Well, Daytona, there's one person that we have circled, and that's Jeff. Jeff has put in so much work over the season, and it wouldn't be right if we didn't do everything that we could to get him a win. For the rest of the guys, it's all about teamwork. We've put ourselves in a really good position entering the playoffs. If you look at the playoff points and how it's going to reset after, we look amazing compared to the rest of the field. I think the next person's Trevor behind us. So we're looking really good going into the playoffs. But next week we got Jeff circled for sure. We're going to do everything that we can, team up with a couple people, and definitely look forward. But as to next season, we just have to focus on this season first. We're not really paying attention to what's going to happen in the off season. We can't get distracted. Us as a team, we've won 8 out of the last 9 races, I believe. So we are 100% focused, and we're not going to let any of those distractions distract us away from getting that goal at the end of the year.
Oh, yeah. Well, I can guarantee you, if there were team break-aparts last year, it's going to happen again with you guys dominating the way you are. You guys just work more and more like a well-oiled machine. Jeremy Burns, we head to Daytona, man. I know it's a crapshoot, but give me your shout-outs here right at the end, because I got a lot of people out here watching you.
Well, first off, I got to shout out Go Longwood. We're back in the dorm. It may look a little bit different here. But hopefully it looks clean. My mom's not here to really help out with that, so hopefully it looks clean. But yeah, I gotta thank my parents, my mom and dad, their continuous support, my grandma, and anyone else in the family who's watching. I know Coach P and Sonny and his kids love to watch. Gotta shout out Miss Betsy. She's watching out there, and my little cousin Dylan's also watching tonight. He texted me and said congratulations. So that's awesome. And anyone else who's watching, I know Devin, my roommate, might be watching. We're actually going to Bristol and Martinsville here in the fall, so that'll be fun. Element X, they helped me a lot. Rob, I actually have to give him a special shout out because unfortunately he wasn't here tonight, but I told him that if I was to break the record, that I wouldn't be taking it from him, that he would kind of be adding on to it because he's coached me up a lot this season. We teamed up really well, so I got to give a big shout out to him and everything that he's helped me prepare for this season. Chapman Environmental for being on the hood because they've just been awesome and their continuous support. I got to shout out Simtrax. Obviously, you guys, y'all are awesome. I can't wait to watch this back. We actually did lead every lap, so it'll be fun to see, what all happened, to see what all was going on behind me. Coastal Financial, they're awesome. Any other supporters in the league. I know Buck Kickers out there, Ultimate Siding and Gutters. And Keystone Graphix, they're awesome. Actually, we entered a design contest, so that's pretty cool. I know he puts a lot of effort into what he does, and to see him sponsoring this league, it's really awesome to see the support. Anyone else who made this possible, and then there are 3 other people that I got to shout out. Travis, because he picked me on the podcast, so thank you for your vote of confidence. And Nick Alves and Michael Bennett, they both called that I was going to finish outside the top 5, and it kind of lit a fire under my rear end. So yeah, we had to definitely come out here and show them that we're here to stay, and road courses are my thing.
First race of the round of 16 will be Darlington. Jeremy Burns, I do not see a repeat from you from last year. Congratulations on your win here tonight, and we'll catch up with you at Daytona.
Thank you, sir.
Alrighty, Stella, that's going to do it for us here. Jeremy Burns doing an awesome job here tonight. What a fantastic race this was. It could have been a lot closer, but the way Jeremy Burns was racing here tonight, that was not going to be so.
Yeah, I have to admit, he's going to watch back so he can see what happened to everybody else.
Yeah, what happened behind him? I'm sure he'll be
What
happy.
happened behind me?
Yeah, I'm sure he'll be happy. We did take a couple laps riding along with him because I had to know
Yeah.
what a 1 minute 11 second lap looked like. I was running 1 minute 19, 1 minute 20s. I wish I could go that fast, but it is definitely got the broadcaster rust. But I appreciate you guys hanging out with us, especially after the off week we had last week. But next week will not be an off week. We will be at Daytona for the Chapman ES Last Chance 200. That should be a great race. I'm expecting a lot of tempers to flare and people doing a last-ditch effort to make the playoffs. But I do want to give a special shout out to KSX Race and Graphix for their sponsorship tonight. Chapman Environmental Services, Butt Kicker, and Ultimate Siding and Gutters. That's going to do it for us here at Simtrax Broadcasting. We'll come back to you live tomorrow with the Doghouse Racing League for their season finale. So don't forget to check us out at simtraxbroadcasting.com, and we'll make sure we have the YouTube link up for you there. But until next time, Patrick Morrison here in the booth, Stella, and...
Don't forget Sunday. We
What?
have the big show.
Ooh, the big show. Big show. Yep, I still don't even know where we're racing there.
At the ISS Super
Jesus, you're done. You're done.
ISS Super Speedway.
You're done. You're done. All right, from all of us here at Simtrax, Stella here in the booth, along with Patrick Morrison. Be well, be safe, be kind, and I'll catch all you guys next time.